This is the MOTU M2. I've been dying to test this audio interface for so long, and it just hasn't been available. It's sold out everywhere. But I finally found one, and I have to say, it's got some impressive features, including excellent preamps, low latency, and the screen. Today, I'm going to share all the features of the MOTU M2 audio interface and what makes it a worthy competitor to the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. Under $200, these are two interfaces you should definitely be checking out. I'll also include some audio samples, spoken word, and guitar at the end of the video. If you're interested in buying the M2 or the Scarlett 2i2, I'll add links to the best prices in the video description. If you're new around here, I'm Sanjay C. I've got lots of videos about music production and the newest gear on my channel. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'll be sure to make it worth your while. The MOTU M2 is a $170 two-channel audio interface, and it's just $10 more expensive than the super popular Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. Like the Scarlett 2i2, the MOTU M2 has XLR and quarter-inch combo inputs, which I really love. You never know when you're going to need to input a stereo source, and this will let you do it. The two XLR inputs are great for vocal plus acoustic guitar recordings, and there are independent phantom power and direct monitoring buttons for each of the inputs. This is usually hard to find in small audio interfaces. If you use a dynamic mic and condenser mic at the same time, this will be useful. But why didn't they include a direct monitoring balance knob? That knob is great when you want to adjust the volume of your input source and the music coming from your DAW. At this price point, it should have been included. It's got a headphone output in the front with a headphone volume knob, and the larger volume knob is for your monitors. On the back, you've got balanced quarter-inch and RCA outputs, which can be used at the same time. It's got the USB port that connects to your computer, MIDI ins and outs for your older keyboards, and a power button. So what does the Focusrite 2i2 have in the back? Well, just your basic quarter-inch balanced outputs. Here are some additional specs on the MOTU M2 and the Focusrite 2i2. The MOTU M2 also has a loopback feature, which allows you to combine a sound source from your computer plus a mic, which is great for live streaming and podcasting with music and your voice. This is becoming a much more popular feature on lots of interfaces these days. The Audient Evo has it as well, but the Scarlett 2i2 does not. The preamps on the MOTU M2 sound excellent. I've got the gain knob set at 12 o'clock, and I'm using the AKG P120 microphone. And it drives the mic very well, while keeping its own noise very low. Only in the silence do we hear the sound. Rumble of a whisper getting clear and loud. Here they are compared to the 2i2. I used similar settings on the Focusrite. Only in the silence do we hear the sound. Rumble of a whisper getting clear and loud. Latency on the MOTU M2 interface is worth talking about. It's extremely low, as low as 2.5 milliseconds at 24-bit 96 kilohertz with a 32 sample buffer. That's better performance compared with the Focusrite 2i2, which gives you around 2.74 milliseconds. Of course, you can record at zero latency with the M2 as well as the 2i2 with the direct monitoring feature. Hey, if you're finding this information useful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And if your budget is only $100, I've rounded up the best audio interfaces in a video here. Now, like most audio interfaces, $100 and above, you have sample rates up to 192 kilohertz, but most people will be fine with 44.1 or 48 kilohertz. Okay, the screen is very attractive in pictures, and it doesn't disappoint in person either. The screen is color and the resolution is decent, much better than blinky lights on budget interfaces and even on the Scarlett 2i2. You can actually see decent meters that help you set gain and monitor output. This looks and feels like a premium feature, and it's super useful as well. But the Scarlett does have one feature you don't get on the MOTU M2. I'll talk about that in a second. Hey, if you're looking for some inspiring chord progressions to boost your creativity, check out my Aurora sample pack on my site, sanjayc.com. And while you're there, take a look at my new virtual instrument, Sanjay's Rhodes, an authentic, gorgeous virtual instrument I created myself from my original Rhodes Mark I stage piano. Links are in the description. All right, let's talk about build quality. Both of these interfaces have a metal body and they feel and look high quality. The knobs on the M2 are smooth and solid feeling. They have a nice textured finish, which makes moving them with one finger possible too. The Scarlett interface has a rubber feeling knob and the volume knob is just kind of smooth. If there's one thing the 2i2 gives you that the M2 does not, it's the Air feature. The third generation Scarlett interfaces give you the option of using the Air setting on the preamps, which mimic the sound of Focusrite's more expensive preamps. Some people love it, and I think it's a nice option to have.
Only in the silence do we hear the sound. Rumble of a whisper getting clear and loud.
So what about software? Well, the MOTU M2 comes with Performer Lite, Ableton Live Lite, and some samples from Lucid Samples and Loopmaster samples. I don't feel it's as competitive as the Focusrite software package. Focusrite even gives you free plugins on a regular basis with their Focusrite Collective program, so you keep evolving your collection as time goes by. It keeps things fresh. All right, so the MOTU M2 is more expensive than other audio interfaces this size, but it does offer some better features and of course that impressive latency. It's almost a no-brainer when comparing it to the Focusrite 2i2, but we need to test this for a longer period of time to know if its durability matches the tried and tested Scarlett interfaces. Both of these interfaces are great. If you can find a MOTU M2, I think it's an excellent interface and an excellent value. Even if you have more expensive interfaces in your studio, I think both of these are great as travel interfaces, and I would highly recommend both of them. But the MOTU M2 has a slight edge over the 2i2. Coming up next in the video, I'll include some audio samples so you can listen to the comparison between the two. Keep making the music you love, and I'll see you guys in my next video. The M2 provides best-in-class speed for monitoring live inputs through your computer, thanks to MOTU's expertly engineered USB drivers, which deliver class-leading ultra-low 2.5 millisecond round-trip latency. The M2 provides best-in-class speed for monitoring live inputs through your computer, thanks to MOTU's expertly engineered USB drivers, which deliver class-leading ultra-low 2.5 millisecond round-trip latency.
Only in the silence do we hear the sound. Rumble of a whisper getting clear and loud. Only in the silence do we hear the sound. Rumble of a whisper getting clear and loud.